99% of global internet traffic flows through American-controlled infrastructure. Every click, every search, every message you send travels through networks, cables, and servers owned and operated by American companies. The internet feels borderless, but it's actually the most successful empire in human history, one built with fiber optic cables instead of armies. Today, we're revealing the hidden American infrastructure that controls global digital life. I'm your American Scout, and today we're diving beneath the surface of the internet to explore the hidden American infrastructure that connects the world. From underwater cables to data centers, let's uncover the physical empire behind your digital life. The underwater empire, the hidden highway system. Beneath the world's oceans lies a network of over 400 submarine cables carrying 99% of international internet traffic. These fiber optic highways connect continents, enabling instant global communication. But here's what most people don't know. American companies control approximately 60% of these critical underwater networks. Companies like Subcom, based in New Jersey, have laid cables connecting Europe to America, America to Asia, and Asia to Australia. These aren't just data pipes. They're the arteries of global civilization, carrying everything from your video calls to international banking transactions. Strategic cable control. The placement and ownership of these cables isn't random. It's strategic. American companies ensure that major international data flows pass through U.S.-controlled infrastructure, often routing through American territories or partner nations. This gives the United States unprecedented visibility into global digital communications. When cables need repair or maintenance, American ships and expertise are often required. This dependency creates leverage that extends far beyond technology into geopolitics and international relations. The vulnerability factor. The concentration of cable control creates both power and vulnerability. A single cable can carry the internet traffic of entire continents. If these American-controlled cables were severed, whole regions could lose international connectivity. This infrastructure control represents one of America's most powerful but least visible forms of global influence. The strategic importance of these cables has made them targets for both protection and potential conflict, with the U.S. Navy actively involved in securing critical underwater infrastructure data center fortresses, the server farm empire. The internet requires massive data centers to store and process information, and America dominates this infrastructure. Northern Virginia alone houses over 70% of global internet traffic, earning it the nickname Data Center Alley. These facilities aren't just buildings, they're the command centers of digital civilization. Companies like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud operate server farms larger than airplane hangars, consuming more electricity than small cities. These data centers don't just store American websites, they host services for businesses and governments worldwide. The geographic advantage. America's data center dominance isn't accidental. The country offers political stability, reliable electricity, favorable legal frameworks, and proximity to both financial centers and technical talent. This combination makes American data centers the preferred choice for global digital infrastructure. Even companies that want to avoid American control often find it impossible. The efficiency, security, and interconnectedness of American data centers create powerful economic incentives that override political preferences. Critical infrastructure protection. These data centers receive government protection equivalent to military installations. The Department of Homeland Security classifies major data centers as critical infrastructure, recognizing their importance to both American and global digital security. The physical security, redundant power systems, and disaster protection of American data centers set global standards, making them indispensable for businesses that can't afford downtime or data loss. The backbone networks, Tier 1. Provider dominance. The Internet's backbone consists of networks operated by Tier 1 providers, companies that can reach every part of the global Internet without paying transit fees. Of the world's major Tier 1 providers, American companies like Verizon, AT&T, and Level 3 control the largest and most critical networks. These backbone networks function like interstate highway systems for data, carrying traffic between regions and countries. American control of these networks means that international Internet traffic often routes through the United States, even when traveling between other countries. Internet exchange, dominance. Internet exchange. Points IXPS are facilities where different networks connect to exchange traffic. The largest and most important IXPS are located in American cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. These facilities handle enormous volumes of global Internet traffic. Control of major IXPs gives American companies and government agencies visibility into global data flows and the ability to influence routing decisions that affect international connectivity and performance. The peering advantage. American networks have established peering relationships that allow free traffic exchange between major providers. This system, developed and controlled primarily by American companies, creates efficiency advantages that make bypassing American infrastructure economically unviable for most international traffic. The peering ecosystem reinforces American centrality in global Internet architecture, ensuring that even traffic between other countries often flows through American-controlled networks. Satellite constellation space-based Internet control. American companies are extending Internet infrastructure into space through satellite constellations. SpaceX's Starlink, Amazon's Project Kuiper, and other American ventures are launching thousands of satellites to provide global Internet coverage, creating new layers of infrastructure control. These satellite systems don't just supplement terrestrial Internet. They can bypass traditional infrastructure entirely, giving American companies the ability to provide direct Internet access to any location on Earth. Global connectivity-independent satellite Internet systems reduce dependence on submarine cables and terrestrial infrastructure, but they concentrate control in the hands of American companies. Countries that rely on satellite Internet for connectivity become dependent on American space-based infrastructure. The dual-use nature of these satellites, serving both civilian and military purposes, adds strategic dimensions to American space-based Internet infrastructure. Regulatory control. American companies launching satellite constellations operate under U.S. regulatory frameworks, giving American authorities significant influence over global satellite Internet access. The Federal Communications Commission and other agencies can approve or restrict satellite Internet services worldwide. This regulatory control extends American Internet governance beyond terrestrial infrastructure into the space domain, creating new forms of digital sovereignty. The choke points, critical control points. The Internet, despite its distributed design, has critical choke points where traffic concentrates. These include major Internet exchanges, submarine cable landing points, and data center clusters. The majority of these critical facilities are located in the United States or controlled by American companies. If these choke points were disrupted, large portions of global Internet traffic would be affected. This concentration creates both efficiency and vulnerability, with American infrastructure at the center of global digital communications. DNS root server control. The Domain Name System, DNS, translates website names into IP addresses, making it essential for Internet functionality. Of the 13 DNS root servers that anchor the global Internet, 10 are physically located in the United States, with American organizations controlling the others. This DNS control gives America the theoretical ability to make websites and services disappear from the global Internet, representing one of the most powerful forms of digital control ever achieved by any nation. Network infrastructure. Dependencies. International networks depend on American infrastructure for connectivity, routing, and technical standards. Even countries that want to develop independent internet infrastructure find it difficult to achieve true autonomy due to the interconnected nature of global networks. The technical expertise, equipment manufacturing, and software systems required for internet infrastructure are largely controlled by American companies, creating dependencies that extend beyond simple connectivity. Traffic control systems, routing, protocol control. The protocols that determine how internet traffic flows between networks were developed primarily by American organizations and continue to be controlled by U.S.-based standards bodies. The Border Gateway Protocol, BGP, and other routing systems can be influenced to direct traffic through specific networks. This protocol control allows American organizations to influence global internet routing, potentially affecting performance, security, and surveillance capabilities for international communications. Content delivery networks. American companies like Amazon CloudFront, Cloudflare, and Google operate massive content delivery networks, CDNs, that cache and distribute content globally. These networks accelerate internet performance but also create central points of control over global content distribution. CDN control allows American companies to influence what content is delivered quickly or slowly to users worldwide, creating subtle but powerful forms of information control. Traffic analysis capabilities. The concentration of internet traffic through American infrastructure creates unprecedented capabilities for traffic analysis and monitoring. While privacy laws provide some protections, the physical control of infrastructure enables forms of surveillance and data collection that would be impossible without this centralized architecture. These capabilities have implications for privacy, security, and digital sovereignty that extend far beyond American borders. Economic infrastructure, internet exchange, markets. The business relationships that enable global internet connectivity are largely negotiated and managed through American companies and exchanges. Pricing, peering agreements, and network access decisions made in American boardrooms affect internet costs and access worldwide. This economic control creates leverage that extends beyond technology into international business and politics, with American companies able to influence the cost and availability of internet services globally. Cloud computing dominance. American cloud computing providers control approximately 65% of the global market, with Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform hosting critical services for governments and businesses worldwide. This cloud dominance creates new forms of infrastructure dependency. Countries and companies that rely on American cloud services for critical applications become dependent on American infrastructure, even if they prefer political independence. Technology standards control. The technical standards that define how internet infrastructure operates are largely controlled by American organizations like the Internet Engineering Task Force, IETF, and World Wide Web Consortium, W3C. These standards determine compatibility, security, and functionality for global internet systems. Standard-setting power allows American organizations to influence the technical direction of global internet development, ensuring continued compatibility with American infrastructure and priorities. Global dependency, international reliance patterns. Countries worldwide have become dependent on American internet infrastructure for critical services, including banking, healthcare, education, and government operations. This dependency was largely invisible until recent geopolitical tensions highlighted the strategic importance of internet infrastructure control. Even nations that seek digital independence find it difficult to achieve true autonomy due to the interconnected nature of global networks and the dominance of American infrastructure companies. Digital sovereignty challenges. The concentration of internet infrastructure in American hands raises questions about digital sovereignty for other nations. Countries like China and Russia have attempted to develop independent internet infrastructure, but global connectivity requirements make complete independence extremely difficult. European initiatives like GAIAX aim to reduce dependence on American cloud infrastructure, but the scale and interconnectedness of existing American systems create powerful inertia against change. Economic and political implications. American control of internet infrastructure creates economic and political leverage that extends far beyond technology. Countries dependent on American internet infrastructure must consider these relationships when making foreign policy decisions. The ability to influence or restrict internet access gives America soft power capabilities that complement traditional diplomatic and economic tools, creating new forms of international influence in the digital age. Conclusion: the invisible empire. American control of global internet infrastructure represents the most successful empire in human history. One built not through conquest, but through innovation, investment, and strategic planning. This digital empire operates largely invisibly, with most users unaware of the American infrastructure that enables their daily digital lives. Unlike traditional empires that required military occupation and political control, America's internet empire operates through voluntary dependency and economic incentives that make alternatives difficult and expensive. The infrastructure advantage. The scale, efficiency, and interconnectedness of American internet infrastructure create powerful advantages that reinforce continued dominance. Countries and companies that might prefer alternatives often find American infrastructure indispensable for global connectivity and performance. This infrastructure advantage extends beyond simple technological superiority to include regulatory frameworks, legal protections, and business ecosystems that make American internet infrastructure attractive even to potential competitors. Future implications. As digital technologies become increasingly central to human civilization, American control of internet infrastructure becomes more strategically important. The development of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and other emerging technologies will likely increase rather than decrease dependence on this infrastructure. Understanding this hidden infrastructure control is crucial for anyone seeking to understand global power relationships in the digital age. The internet may feel borderless, but it's actually the foundation of America's most successful and least visible form of global influence. Thanks for joining me on this exploration of the hidden infrastructure behind your internet connection. If you found this revelation eye-opening, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the American Scout for more investigations into American global influence. How do you feel knowing about America's control over global internet infrastructure? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Next week, we'll explore how American music genres conquered global culture, so hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Until then, keep exploring America, and remember, even your internet is more American than you realized.